Is so pause. I was watching this documentary. It's called Stolen Youth. This is not a movie review, it's a doc review, so it's different. It's called Stolen Youth. So this guy named Larry and his daughter end up moving into a dorm room, right? Because she ends up going out with this one dude, right? So they link up in a dorm room. I mean, it's not a dorm room, my bad. It's one of them dorm houses. So meaning that maybe like 8 people could live there, like 4 bedrooms upstairs, four people could live, 3 people could live upstairs, 2 people could live in the mid floor, and like 3 people could live downstairs type shit. So they had that going on, and then one of the dudes, his girlfriend, it's like, yo, my dad just came out of prison. He has nowhere to go. Can he sleep on the couch for a bit? And she was staying at that house too. So they're like, well, he has nowhere to go. We can't separate you two. So they're like, fuck it. He can stay on the couch for a little bit. Red flag number 1. So they fucking let the guy, they let the guy stay there. So the guy would cook, clean. Like, he was like, greasing him up a little bit, right? One day, he ends up going into one of the girls' room. I'm not gonna mention everyone's name and shit. This is just a quick thing, right? And then we're gonna analyze it. He gets one of the girls that's the most mentally, most mentally like fragile or weak. Got one of them to come in the room with him. They started talking overnight and shit too. Slowly, that girl started to change. Instead of being shy and shit all the time, she started to be more out there. So everyone's like, oh, this guy's like a guru. So one day, another guy, he's like, yo, maybe he can help me. So then he goes to that guy. He asks him, he goes, hey, can you help me out? Like, I think I'm gay, blah, blah. The guy's like, you're not gay, blah, blah. Maybe like you went through this as when you were a kid. And like he would plant ideas using the information that they would give him and say, oh, maybe it's because this happened to you. Like, oh, maybe you were touched as a kid, or maybe your dad did this to you. And then in their head, they'd be like, yeah, maybe he did. Maybe that is the reason why. So he would corral them and get them away from their parents. So now they're like, he's like, yeah, they're like, fuck my parents. So that's 2 people. Then the Spanish dude who he's dating Larry's daughter, right? He goes to him like, yo, man, like, I don't know, like, I have doubts in my head about my parents and da-da-da. He used that information, manipulated it, made his dad seem like the devil and everything. So he's like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to go back home. I want to stay here with Larry. So now that's like 3 people. This nigga gets his sister. His sister's involved. His sisters pull up. Now his sisters are there. They all end up moving out and going to and this one other girl, this one redheaded girl too. They end up moving out of that dorm and leaving like 4 other people there because they're like, nah, we ain't going with you guys. You guys are on some next shit. They end up moving into an apartment, right? 1-bedroom apartment with like fucking like 7, 8 people there. And they're living there like cult like he had them on military style. He was lying to them saying he's from the military. He did the Marines. He's showing them pictures of him with like Ricky Giuliani and like all these famous people, Donald Trump and all this shit. So it's like people were like, so they believed his dumb little stories and they believed that he could fucking they believe that he is like a guru, like he can help them with their life. So slowly he started abusing each and every one of them, and they already are so attached to him, and he changed their lives, right, quote unquote, that they couldn't leave. But this nigga was beating them with hammers, saying you guys owe me this much money even though nothing broke. He's saying you guys broke something when nothing did break. And then he would be like, well, you guys owe me this much money. Nope, actually you broke this too, add this. So he would basically be extorting them, coercing them to think that they owe him money. It got out of hand. This shit went on for 10 years. It ended up being the redhead left, the 2 sisters, his minion, which is the one girl that he called first, and the Spanish dude. Everyone else said fuck that and they left. Thank God, right? So then the the two sisters, one of the sisters was dating Larry, the oldest sister. She used to go to Harvard, do everything. She was this close. She was so close to being a doctor. This nigga took that away from her, tried to make her think that people were trying to kill her. She ran to New York. She was in LA. She went all the way back to New York to meet up with this nigga, and then she started staying with him. She got coerced to the point where she thought she was under attack, about to be killed. He broke her to the point where she needed him instead of him needing her, which is what it was, right? So then he was abusive, fucking them up. He broke her mind. Like, it took her 10 plus years just to get back into a mind frame where she's like, okay, I get it now, right? Like, he was fucking me up, you know what I mean? And now she's back to normal. But the other sister, she left because Larry made the sister think that she poisoned her older sister. Like, come on, Larry, you know what I mean? Then the brother, his punk ass ain't doing shit. He brought them into this shit. He ain't doing nothing, right? Shit's getting fucked. He ends up leaving. The sister ends up leaving. So now it's just two of them and the redhead. Now he's laser focused on the redhead, saying, you owe me money now. Now the redhead has to get money. What does she do? Prostitution. Getting that money. So him and the minion will go pick up the money. One day she didn't want to pick up the money. They fucking beat the shit out of her till she gave him money. Like, all this shit. And then the police came. They realized, because they posted a website. Larry posted a website with the redhead girl saying that she poisoned every student there, blah, 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 right? Just framing her for some shit, telling her on video to say that she did it, right? So, fucking, everyone sees this. They're like, something's wrong, something's up. So they try to save the girl. The police laugh at them, obviously, right? They try to save the girl. The girl ends up getting saved. The guy ends up getting arrested. And then the two girls, one of them, they are still brainwashed. And then towards the end of the documentary, the elder sister, she reunites with her family, so everything's good with them. They get a happy ending, even though they didn't even have to go through that shit. They would have had a better life if it wasn't for that nigga Larry. They gave him $300,000, like $300,000 plus, and who knows how much money he got from the redhead, right? From the prostitution shit, right? So she was charging $1,500 an hour. So just do the math, right? So that's what's crazy about that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, what I was trying to say was, like, I know that's so crazy that happened, and like the family, they're good. The redhead, she's living with her family and friends, she's good. The dude, he's good. He moved back in with his parents, he's good. Spanish dude, they're good, right? So everyone's like ends up being good. Now the minion, she got fucking karma. Her way of survival was being with the monster instead of trying to be with them. So she would be working against them because she didn't want to get the same punishment that they're getting, instead of trying to help them. Like, hey, don't be so rough on him, da, 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 da. Or trying to use ways to manipulate him so that he's less aggressive with them. But she wasn't doing that, right? So she was literally working with him. So she ended up getting indicted too. And I think she's going to get sentenced soon. She's gonna have to do some time. She might get like probation. She's on house arrest right now, so she might get probation and like a couple years more of house arrest. But because the guy, she can say the guy coerced her to do it. You know what I mean? So, but at one point she was doing it free. She could have left at any time, but she was doing it freely because I forget, she felt empowered or something. Because I don't know, bro. I wouldn't allow that. That shit is crazy. That's all I'm saying. The fact that you think that you can just manipulate people like that, like, I mean, like,
dude, what the fuck?
That is crazy, bro. When I heard that they dropped 300,000 plus,
Lord Jesus,
it's a 1-bedroom apartment. There's barely anything that should cost $100,000 in there. That should add up to $100,000 being cost. Like, what? Like, I'm telling you, like, if I were to look around my crib right now and be like, okay, how much in damages do I have right now? I could be like, maybe like 2 racks. If I give someone 2 racks, they would look at this and they'll be like, all right, we're good. They'll fix it themselves. I'm telling you. But you get the plaster shit, you fix a couple holes, right? And then you might need a brand new door, and that's about it. And some new curtains, and that's about it. And I'm pretty sure you can insure spots. Like if I was the landlord and I had a house, I'm pretty sure I would insure it, like in case of a fire happens, a hazard happens. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I would insure the house so whatever is inside the house can still be, I can like claim it and get my money back. I don't know if that you could do that. I don't know. Can you do that? Can you get house insurance? Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. $12 a month. God damn. So yeah, you can get house insurance. So just in case anything, so let's say your house is worth $1 million or whatever at the time. If your house burns the fuck down, I think they add the valuables too. It's valuables up to X amount of dollars, right? So what kind of valuables would you have in your house? I think you list them like, yo, I have this, and it costs this much. And you might have the receipts, the shit that you bought that is in the house. I don't know. You have to have proof that you've had this shit in the house, basically. And then you get your money back. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James. Anyways. Larry, fuck you. Like, you are a piece of... Like, you are a piece of... Like, you should, like, honestly... Oh, okay, I'm done. I said some shit that I can't even say. Because, why? Why would you do that? You ruined everyone's life around you. And here's the kicker. That apartment that he was in, some guy allowed him to live there. He got allowed to live there. The nigga walked in, seen what was going on, and he's like, oh, you know what? Fuck this. I don't want anything to do with this. He should have said something, man. He didn't want to. But he should have said something, because now you have, those kids are traumatized. If you said something, if you called the police and like said, yo, man, this guy's in my house, he's not supposed to be here, he has a bunch of kids in here, da-da-da-da, it's weird, you would have got the fuck out of here. But you let it happen for like 5 years, bro? Come on, my G. Anyways, we're off of that.